Well, we're only halfway there, Lumi. It's LGD.int versus Rattlesnake. Welcome back to the International 3 group stages, the Beyond the Summit studio. I'm LD, and he's Lumi. And it's time to introduce LGD.int versus Rattlesnake. Best of two. We can introduce the teams, and actually, before we do we want to look at the groups real fast so we know where these teams are? Because I think that'll be very helpful to some of the
We've been bouncing between groups, and it could be somewhat confusing. So we're in Group B right now.
This is actually a big match for them, because these are two of the weaker teams in Group B, and if you lose this match 0-2, I feel like your chances of not being bottom four are very slim.
Yeah, if you go 0-4 on day one, I mean, sure there was the Navi comeback from last year, but
that was Navi.
That was Navi, so
LGD.int Rattlesnake. LGD.int had that nice run of G League Season 2, but they haven't looked particularly strong as of late. With that being said, though, we should introduce the teams quickly. The draft is actually already underway, but we do want to give the players their time in the sun. So here we go. Icy, one position player for Team Rattlesnake. Generally, we see him on that Doom occasionally as well. Or no, sorry, that's Luo. But this is a team that likes to switch up their roles quite a bit. We'll see if
not
they get
anymore though in this tournament. They've been very standard.
Very consistent.
Yeah.
We've seen Kabu on that interesting kind of off-lane quap role at times. We'll see if he goes for that again. Luo on your 2 position, solo mid. Our 3 position player. Our 3 position player is Lamb. Solo mid, off-lane, jungler, whatever you want.
Really the
position,
star of the team, yeah.
Kabu, known for his clockwork. We did see him on off-lane quap today. And last but not least, you have your 5 position player. That is Sagam or Neo. With that being said, we can introduce their opponents. The draft is well underway, so we're going to rush through these very quickly. It's LGD.int. Pycat will be playing the 1 role for this team. Occasionally, we'll say the Luna as well. The 2 player is God Kill Them All, or G, your solo mid. Looking very dapper there. You've got Brax, your offlaner. I think Darkseer by far his go-to hero. Misery, your jungle utility support. Last but not least, we do a 1437. That one being handled by... or sorry, not that one being handled. I'm so used to introducing the actual heroes. But with that being said, it's LGD.int versus Rattlesnake. Predictions, you have like 3 seconds.
All right, I'm going to go with LGD 2-0.
LGD, I'm going to go with 1-1. And with that being said, we'll introduce our casters now. Merlini, Purge, take it away.
Hey guys, I'm not so hopeful about a 2-0. I'm thinking more 1-1.
These two teams seem fairly evenly matched.
Yeah, I would definitely agree
I haven't
with that.
seen LGD.int perform though. I think they played Alliance, I believe, in the first game.
Yeah, and that's a hard match,
That's a
so
hard match.
it's not really a good way to gauge things. So a very unexpected Batrider and Lifestealer on the same team, surprisingly going to LGD.int, and they got a Visage, which already looks like a really fantastic draft to me.
Yeah, they banned out OD and Alchemist. Rattlesnake kind of forced to ban out Wisp, and Darkseer, I guess, is a pretty popular hero from LGD.int, but giving away Lifestealer and Bat is pretty devastating.
Yeah, Dragonite's going to be taking up the mid role for Rattlesnake here. It's possibly going to be against a Batrider, which isn't a very favorable matchup. And what did they get instead? They got a Nyx Assassin, which in other games we watched today, it's very useful to set up invis ganks with like Lifestealer bombs and things like that. But I mean, is that really what they want to grab for the first couple picks? They also have a Chen, so they could do a lot of early tower pushing, which could be why they wanted the Dragonite so early, because Dragonite at level 6 plus Chen is great for killing towers. But at the moment, it looks like LGD got all the good heroes.
Yeah, Nyx Assassin is decent versus Batrider in the mid lane and somewhat to counter-initiate if he blinks in and Fireflies and does all this good lasso stuff. You can try and counter-initiate with a just walk into the Firefly with a Carapace. But, I mean, Nyx is Nyx, and Batrider is, I wouldn't say he's like the hero of this tournament, but he is widely considered one of the most imbalanced heroes in Dota right now.
That's definitely true. We are going to see a Razor ban as well as a Weaver ban, Enchantress, and a Rubik. Obviously, Rattlesnake's a little scared about an aggressive tri-lane. Makes complete sense because they've already got 2 of the best tri-lane heroes. Lifestealer as the carry and Visage as the support is really nasty for survivability from Lifestealer plus range nuke from Visage. If they could put an Enchantress on top of that and do an aggressive jungle and just shut down whatever Chen wants to do, it could really throw a big kink in whatever Rattlesnake wants to do.
Rattlesnake does have a decent like pushing line if they want to do that as their 4 or 5. LGD and doesn't actually have that much AoE, and Rattlesnake has the Dragonite and Chen, so they do kind of have to watch out for that. But if they pick up Bounty Hunter, they're definitely switching gears from that.
Yeah, Bounty Hunter's not a very common offlane hero currently. We did see LGD.int picking up earlier today against Alliance. They ended up losing that game, not that that was necessarily the reason, but one cool thing that I do like about the Bounty Hunter, though, as he tracks his opponents, there's a lot of movement speed heroes on LGD right now, mainly the Lifestealer as well as the Batrider. So if you can keep your allies moving faster, they have a better chance of being able to kite those heroes, and maybe they'll be able to work them down. So if you can stay away for 6 seconds, wait for Rage to run out, hit him with the Dragon Knight stun or a Nyx Assassin stun, they have a decent chance of being able to burst them down.
I'm actually surprised they picked it 4th, though. I think they could have probably feigned into like a Lone Druid pick or something like that and keep LGD in guessing. But with Bounty Hunter, they're not doing push strategy, and they don't have to worry about it. They don't have to pick any anti-push or like a Magnus or like a Windrunner, any of those, or Keeper Light. Keeper Light not very good versus Nyx Assassin, but still, you always want to keep your opponents guessing, especially at this point in the draft.
Yeah, plus I feel like this also opens them up towards being aggressively tri-laned again, because if Bounty Hunters expect to be in the off lane, they could easily put Batrider there, right? Put Batrider against Bounty Hunter, that's a pretty easy matchup win for Batrider. They can still do an aggressive tri-lane with Lifestealer, Visage, and Crystal Maiden to try to shut down the Dragon Knight Nyx, and then match up mid favorably as well if they just need something that can beat a Dragon Knight.
Which is most range heroes.
Yeah, basically. Or, I mean, Dragon Knight can CS okay with Breathe Fire and maybe Rune Control, but winning the lane really heavily is most likely not going to happen. It would maybe be a little scary because they have a Chen. That would be a defensive Chen jungle, but I don't know. I think LGD definitely has the possibility to do this.
Yeah, LGD has a fantastic early game right now, and if they get an early Blink Rider on bat, I can just see continued aggression on Rattlesnake, and Dragon Knight or whoever their carry of choice may be in the triple lane is just not going to be able to get any sort of farm. I'm actually surprised Gyrocopter made it that far into the draft too. He's banned out last from Rattlesnake. I think that it would have worked pretty well into the lineup. Let's see what other hard carries are there. Alchemist banned out first by LGD. Any carries that come to your mind?
Do they really need a hard carry is the question. I
don't think they need a hard carry. I think they need like a fighter carry like Lifestealer or Gyrocopter. I think would be ideal.
You're saying Rattlesnake does? Or
Rattlesnake
are we talking
does.
about LGD?
Not
Okay.
LGD.
I mean, either team could just focus on mid matchups. I think LGD, like we said, has more abusable matchups. If they grabbed a Gyro, for example, they could have put it against either Bounty Hunter or Dragon Knight and maybe had a decent lane advantage.
Right.
So, yeah, most of the carries are definitely gone, though.
Yeah, I think LGD and can just go with like a standard solo mid, like Puck or even Storm. Storm works pretty well with the
really
Lifestealer
good.
bomb, but it's somewhat vulnerable to Nyx. The man burn really hurts him, and I mean if you get an Orchid, Nyx gets destroyed pretty hard. But I think like Puck would be a safer choice, and it also works well with the Lifestealer bomb, and works well into their aggressive strat, trying to win their lanes. Batrider should win his matchup. This triple lane should win against other triple lanes, and Puck should beat a Dragon Knight out.
Yeah, especially, I was going to say if Dragon Knight was on safe carry, but that's not going to happen. Most likely will be him in the mid lane. But it looks like Rattlesnake gets to pick first. They've got, okay, it's going to be a Queen of Pain. So Queen of Pain is going to be possibly farming with a Nyx, are you thinking? Or do you think it's going to be Quat mid versus Bat?
I think it's going to be Quat mid versus Bat, but I'm scared for the triple lane. If it matches up triple versus triple, I don't think that Dragon Knight will fare very well at all. Like, he has a stun, but it's not very useful. It's kind of like, it's like worse than Rubik Telekinesis in the format. It's not AoE, it doesn't do any damage, and all it does is keep it
25.
Whoa,
Okay.
oh, man. That's like a whopping like 18 damage after magic
That's
resist.
half an auto attack, guys.
Woof.
Yeah, it's pretty
That
insane.
deeps.
So, yeah, Dragon Knight, pretty crappy tri-lane hero before 6.
They're forced to defend the triple lane if they want to DK, I think. If they do aggressive triple lane, they're just going to get rolled by LGDN.
Yeah, especially if LGD can match it up, for example, if they don't get to dodge it. It's a Shadow Fiend last pick, so
wow.
I guess this will be, I assume, either Shadow Fiend or Batrider safe lane. They can put either one mid and do relatively okay against Quap, and they can still match up their tri-lane here. I think LGDN's picks are much superior to Rattlesnake's.
Yeah, I think that LGDN also has a better like roaming lineup too. Visage and CM I think is a much more effective pair early. I think they can babysit the Shadow Fiend enough, and if Rattlesnake tries to go with a lot of early aggression in the mid lane, if both teams decide to do safe lane triples.
So it looks like it's going to be G on the Lifestealer, which may indicate that he will be going mid. If it is a DK, I guess they could do that.
I've never seen G play Shadow Fiend, so I have seen Pycat play mid a lot, not in official games, but still in just like regular games. So I don't actually know how much they do role reversal, but it's something that could potentially happen.
Well, let's take a look at the players really quick for the Radiant team here. We've got LGD.int. Brax is going to be playing the Batrider. We've got Pycat on the Shadow Fiend. G is on the Lifestealer. Misery is playing Crystal Maiden. And we've got 1437 playing the Visage.
And on my hotkeys are all messed up because I'm on Lumi's account. And on the side of Rattlesnake, we have Luo on the Queen of Pain. I believe. Let's check his item build. He has spent all his gold. Looks like he may be going safe lane. We see Icy on the Bounty Hunter, Kabu on the support, Chen, Lon M, the hero of the wild card match, on the Dragon Knight, and Sag, Heart M on Nyx Assassin.
Okay, so Rattlesnake's heading towards the top lane. It looks like it will be Dragon Knight mid. He's got the 3 Ironwood branches with 1 Tango, so most likely, let's double check to see who's going to be going mid. G is saving a little bit of money. The other possible mid heroes is Pycat. He could be going to mid build here. He's got a Salve and a Tango, a bit more than we normally see.
Yeah, I think he expects to be versus Queen of Pain because I think Dragon Knight versus DK, that's a very bad matchup for the DK. And he has some like decent base damage, he has 52, but not as much as a melee hero needs to
you
shut
mean
down.
Dragon Knight versus which hero?
Versus Shadow Fiend.
Versus Shadow Fiend, okay. You said DK, so.
Oh, yeah.
I was like, Dragon Knight versus
DK.
Dragon
Well, it looks
Knight.
like G's going to go middle on the Lifestealer. I think they expect it versus the Dragon Knight.
Yeah, we have been seeing this sometimes, and it's pretty effective for the reason that Lifestealer's really hard to gank. Oh, a gank's coming? Okay, I'll just be magic immune for 2.5 seconds, or however many points you have in it. Usually we'll see them max out open wounds really fast that they have kill potential, but basically any time that Dragon Knight comes into the melee range, he's gonna trade hits with them and steal a lot of HP.
So they scout Icy out. He's trying to interfere with Brax's jungling, and I think he's just going to block the big spawn. Do they have any sentry wards is the question.
I believe
Oh,
I saw
there's one
that.
sentry.
There's one. Frostbite goes down. Brax only has Firefly, does not have Sticking Napalm. There's the Grave, and they have a Dust, and this is going to guarantee a kill on Icy. And I've heard people say this before. If you want to kill a Bounty Hunter, you buy Dust and Sentries at the start of the game, and he has no chance. And the first blood goes to LGD.int, and a nice gold advantage for them.
Yep, and Brax looks like he will have an easy start in the jungle. There's no way that Bounty Hunter is going to go back there after what happened.
Yeah, it's going to be pretty tough. He is actually swinging back towards the bot lane. He does have another ward to place. He could hypothetically enter the jungle invis and then get the ward and get out. And he does want to slow down this jungling Batrider because he is playing the offlane role. He's not going to go to the top lane because he'll be pretty vulnerable to the Nyx Assassin Quap. And if they can slow down his farm, stop him from getting a 7-8 minute Blink Dagger, then it'll be a nice advantage. And there's the Observer Ward. He ends up placing in the jungle. This is not going to block a camp, but it will at least scout out some support heroes coming from the other way.
So I think that even without this first blood, I think that LGD would be coming out ahead just because they're trading a Shadow Fiend farm versus a Queen of Pain farm, which is perfectly okay for the Shadow Fiend because Shadow Fiend is quite vulnerable in the early stages of the game. But Queen of Pain is not. So they're kind of like not exploiting the weakness of the LGD.int lineup. And Bounty Hunters, I mean, he's going to get levels and 6 relatively soon, but Pycat's just having the easiest time of his life right now. 8-8. So
yeah.
I don't think he's missed a creep yet.
When I checked the bot lane, as Bounty Hunter got back to the lane, Pycat already had 10 souls picked up, which is plus 20 damage, which means Icy's not going to have a good time. The best thing he can do here is try to disrupt pulls and steal these neutrals. But other than that, it's going to be a really rough lane for him.
Yeah, he has boost first, and that will give him some sort of breathing room, but they have a Dust, and he has to be really, really scared so he doesn't give up early second blood.
So we have some early pushing going on the top lane. No catapults here. It looked like they were trying to pull into the side camps, but at least some tower damage will be done. So there's a chance that they'll lose an early tier 1 top, but I don't think they're really that concerned.
I don't think they care at all.
They have 2 lanes that they're winning, plus they have a jungler.
Yeah,
so
they have a free farming bat. He's already had a triple stack at the big camp and farming these 2 camps at one time. Let's see who first blood went to. It actually went to 1437.
Yeah.
So it won't be a super fast Blink Dagger, but it should be fast enough.
So we'll see where Pycat goes with his item builds this game. Most likely we'll stick to the typical BKB, especially against a Nyx Assassin and a Dragon Knight. We saw some of the other teams run into that trouble earlier today with the gyrocopter on Navi kept getting
see in a
stunned
little bit of
before
trouble.
BKB. He's going to take some right click on. Oh, sorry, you're looking at the bot lane. Yeah, he does get dusted. A little bit of open wounds on the mid lane for LAN-M as well. And G's sitting at 13-5 compared to the Dragon Knight's 10-2, so LAN-M's actually doing quite well here.
And Pycat's still way ahead in terms of souls. He is 17 last hits, 15 denies. So Bounty Hunter is not getting anything. He's only level 2.5. He's been in the lane most of the time, venturing into the jungle now and then. But looks like that T1 push on top only got the tower down to about half HP, not even using the glyph on the side of LGD. So it won't be a super fast tower push. Chen opting to farm the jungle a little bit more, but he does have a smoke. He looks like he's about ready to gank mid, sitting on top of that hill.
He does have the Troll Warlord creep, so this and Snare can go through Magic Immunity. Here's some right clicks, looking for the Breathe Fire. There's the net. More right clicks. They're going to need about 3 or 4 hits to kill him. He's going to open wounds and run. Oh, the Test of Faith gets him 171. What's the range there? That was slightly lucky, a little bit above average.
I'm actually
Could've missed the
surprised
kill,
that he turned around for an open wounds. Like, if he had gone up the hill, I don't think that Chen would have had vision of him.
Yeah,
And Dragon Knight
would've
had
been
already
close.
used his spells. So I'm a little surprised that he gave it first or second blood like that.
Really close gank, though. Very lucky that he was able to pick up a Dark
Yeah,
Troll,
it's
because any
very,
other
very
creep,
lucky.
there's no way he would have disabled him, unless he moved it into the Dragon Knight stun like a Centaur or something.
A little bit unlucky for the DK. He could have gotten the 2-minute rune on top. It actually spawned bottom. I believe he was camping the top rune, but any rune there would have definitely secured the kill. And we see Chen. Looks like he's circling around top, seeing if anyone's going to TP in, but just deciding to push our tower. Are they going to use a glyph?
I don't think this is worth it. There's no way they're going to be able to defend it before the glyph duration runs out. So first tower is going to go top. Who gets the last hit? It's going to be Chen. So not only picks up a kill, but also a tower hit. So might be a really fast mech out of him.
Yeah, and Chen is level 40. He's doing way better in terms of leveling than the two supports on the side of LGD.int. But checking Bat's level, Bat's already level 5, and he's already clearing another double stack. So Brax is being very efficient about his jungling, but their T2 tower is under fire right now.
And this can sometimes start a rolling ball that is really hard to stop, because this is a huge amount of gold advantage that's going to be going to Rattlesnake. A Dragon Knight's doing semi-okay here, and most importantly, this is going to accelerate Bounty Hunter into maybe some phase boots or a faster drum.
1437 may be in trouble right here. I think if they blink Shadow Struck him, he'd be in a lot of trouble. He doesn't have any points in Gravekeeper's Cloak right now, but there's no way a Visage can stop this push solo. There's a level 5.5 Queen of Pain and a level 4 Nyx Assassin. I'm actually very worried for LGD, and I think that once they get level 6 on the Nyx Assassin, they're just going to find a lot of kills, because they can't really farm that much on the left side anymore now that those two towers are down, and with a Nyx and a Bounty Hunter, they have to constantly keep sentry wards up, but once you start losing your towers, you can't keep sentries up everywhere, and unless Pikehead gets like a very early BKB, which it looks like he may be able to get, but he won't be able to get it before the Nyx at 6. So I'm scared for Pikehead.
Yeah, it is. Oh, look at this dive here. Luo's going to do some spin on 1437. He's going to push him back out, though. And yeah, look at the map. It's completely opened up now, especially the secret shop. It's not even safe to go purchase things there. Nyx Assassin almost has his arcane boots. He's only been pulling so far. But in LGD.int's defense, if they can just hold the game off and try to equalize towers later, it's going to make a big difference, because there's been so many heroes spending time pushing and not farming.
I think that the Bat Rider could have potentially just delayed the push by himself, though. Just Firefly, just run away to safety. Flame Break if you really need to. He doesn't actually have any points in Flame Break right now, so that may possibly be why he didn't do it. But I think that giving the T2 tower is a little bit too much free reign for the side of Rattlesnake. Their heroes are like pretty level dependent. Queen of Pain sitting at 2,500 gold right now, so slightly behind the Shadow Fiend in terms of CS, but ahead in gold because of the towers.
Yeah. Well, can Quap do anything good with it is the question, though. She has 2,500 gold. She hasn't purchased anything yet. Is it going to be a fast sheepstick? Orchid could be very likely, because Orchid is so good against Lifestealer, but he isn't even their #1 core hero. I mean, maybe she's going to have to worry more about killing a Shadow Fiend before he's able to pop BKB or something like that. Oh, they're going for a kill mid. There's going to be one infest. Oh, unfortunately, it's the first creep forward, and just at that moment, Dragon Knight decided to leave to go to the jungle, and out pops G. One ulti wasted. Really unlucky timing there.
And looks like Rattlesnake doesn't actually have that good of wards out right now. This ward on the left side is like all right, but you prefer to have it down here for a little bit more vision. You may see them too late, but it's a pretty good ward after the T2 tower's down, and they have one in the bottom lane. It was just right here and expires. So Dragon Knight doesn't have any vision up on the map right now. He feels threatened during the nighttime. I think that his support should probably give him a ward in middle, just because they're just busy farming. Look at Luo, he's just farming the top lane. We see both supports just pulling and making use of their own jungle. They aren't in a position to defend him, and if you aren't going to do that, you want vision for him so he doesn't die unnecessarily.
Yeah, and another problem with taking the tier 2 tower really fast is check out this creep wave on the bot lane. All of these creeps that are dying here are EXP that the Dire team is never going to get, and this also gives 1437 the easiest way to hit 6 ever. He would either normally have to sit in the jungle and pull camps or do something like that, or gank for kills, and now he can just sit bottom, safely pick up some EXP here, pick up a fast 6, and then teamfight for the rest of the game. He doesn't have to worry about getting that EXP anymore.
Well, Queen of Pain is actually going for a survivability build, which I'm actually quite surprised at, because he was just having like free farm. 49 last hits in 8 minutes. That is very, very good, and he could have gotten away with a more greedy build, whether it be like a Lincoln's First to counter the Bat Initiate, whether it be an Orchid to try and kill the Bat, or any of the heroes on the side of LGD.int.
Yeah.
It's very, very good versus Lifestealer, especially considering he'd already died once, so it's a really good snowball-y item.
We do have a smoke gank coming from the top lane. Sagam is not level 6 yet, though, so he's going to have to break this stun with his invis. Or without his invis, that is.
They don't have any slow either. No points and penitence for Chen. Are they going to be able to get his gank off? It is nighttime, and 1437 is in a somewhat compromising position. He's so far away from his tower, though.
If he comes up again for a last hit, they're definitely going to go in, but they have to wait for the perfect moment. He has to come forward and walk into them as they come forward for the stun.
I'm surprised they don't just walk all the way around, though, and just circle around through the secret shop. They've wasted a lot of time just waiting for him to be in a bad position, but to be honest, they could just
They can't see him TPing. Well, they get the stun off in time. It's going to miss. He TPs the bot lane, so gank is going to be failed.
Very careful play by 1437. I'm impressed that he is that vigilant and wary. Again, you have to be very, very careful. He can tell that the Nyx is not 6, but you have to be worried about a bounty hunter, too.
Yeah, definitely true. And Bounty currently is level 6. He's got a phase and a bracer. He's going to be looking for some kills as well. G is playing really safe. There's a lot of heroes missing. A bunch of them are about to show mid, so I'm sure he'll maybe do something now.
I like that Icy has moved as soon as he hits 6. I see a lot of bounty hunters wait until they get 7 or 8, but why wait when you have the kill potential? Oh, it looks like he may die, though. Do they have any revelation?
Brax does have his Blink Dagger, and here comes the initiation. This is what costs them their towers. They're going to blink in and grab somebody. Will it be Sag-M, or is it going to be the Dragon Knight? There it is. Sag-M gets snagged. He doesn't get his Carapace off fast enough, and Sag-M's going to die immediately. Makes bombs start, and this is why LGD.int let their towers go down so that they can pick off kills endlessly.
Oh, we see a TP on bottom lane. Is Spikecat going to die?
That's one scream of pain. Dagger's coming as well. He pops the salve. Here comes the TP. Will it be enough? It's going to be so close. He gets out just barely.
Wow, no Janata.
Great TP. He didn't have the mana
close
to throw the Shuriken, so he gets out. Really close, though.
Yeah, LGD coming out way ahead in that. I'm actually surprised that the Nyx hasn't stood on top of the hill. They have a sentry right here, so I think they were prepared for the invis, but when Bounty Hunter was walking by in this area, he heard the infest, and he saw him pop into somebody, and I don't know if he actually saw the invis here or not, but they pinged out on it, so I know that they knew something was up.
Misery trying to pull the creep wave path, save some HP on the tower. Quap's going to blink out as well. Brax trying to slow him, but it's not going to be enough. Did have a flame break available, but no ulti there, and checking for TP is nothing. So
yeah, both teams really lacking on vision right now. There's only the one ward on the left side that wasn't even able to secure a kill on 1437. So both teams playing kind of blind, and they don't have any sentries on the side of Team Radiant to deal with these two invis heroes. We've seen a lot of teams be a little bit lackluster and not vigilant about these sentry wards, which is quite surprising.
Well, there was one just placed mid that PyCat brought. I don't know if somebody else bought it. He actually bought his own, I believe. Bought his own sentry for the mid lane here, so
supporters not supporting.
I guess not. It did get denied, though. There was already a sentry in place from Rattlesnake. They're predicting the already available sentry, and G and Brax are going to be walked past a bunch of invis heroes. So they don't realize that they're there, and there's the infest bomb, so they know it's coming. They know where the gank probably is, and there's the stun as well as the nuke on Brax. That's going to shut things down, I guess. Kabu walks into melee range, though. Is this really worth it? They're chasing after him. He uses Firefly, trying to go to 1 second to blink. Will he get out in time? He does, but G comes out. Big mistake to know. They're actually going to fight. The Soul Assumption comes through. Lanam drops immediately. Really weak to magic damage. Great stuns from the familiars. A couple hits on Kabu, but PyCat's going to take another stun. But I think G's going to be able to clean this one up. Icy's going in, wants to get the kill on PyCat. Goes for the crit, slows him down. There's the track. He's after him. Icy trying to get him, but he backs out. Soul Assumption comes through. One more right click. He's going to go invis, and I think make it out.
Shadow Fiend on the right side. He's getting chased by neutral
Oh,
creeps.
the neutrals. Gets him.
Track move speed, too good.
Yeah, and they had another extra shockwave too, so they were definitely going to get that kill.
He almost ran into that sentry ward. Icy is so close to dying right there. He does have a TP score. Looks like he will. Oh, not TP. Way to save me. Is he going to die, though? He's going to run right into Misery.
Oh, man, he is going to.
Oh,
no! He didn't see.
Wow.
Oh, my gosh.
Why is he not TPing out? Maybe he wants one more track? I'm not exactly sure why.
I have no idea.
He is so ballsy.
He has 100 HP. What is this guy doing?
He is constantly windwalking.
Recon? Does he? Oh, he wants to get Brax. That's why. Brax is low. He knows Brax is over there. He's waiting for Brax to come back. Here's Visage looking around. I wish I could click on the hero. I cannot. There it is. He's still waiting for Brax. Brax is still sitting there. He knows. The push is
okay,
coming
there he
bot.
goes. He TP's out finally.
Okay.
And they drop a sentry ward just in time.
Sag-M wants to kill. There's a stun. Mana drain on Misery. Will it be enough? He's going to be so close. He gets him in 2 hits. Not 3. Still taking right click. Soul Assumption. He's down to 85 HP. Is anyone going to catch him? I don't think so. The bats are a bit too slow here. Tower's going to take some damage too.
Like, they have the blink up on Batrider, but they haven't really made, like, too, like, great use of it. They had the 1 kill in middle with the Lifestealer Bomb, too, but that's 2 ultimates for, like, 1 support kill. And it seems like Rattlesnake is coming out slightly ahead in these engagements just because they had that 2-tower lead. There was, like, 1 hit away from killing, or, like, he just had enough hits to kill that Crystal Maiden, and he had just enough HP to survive the Viz's burst, too. So that tower gold, I mean, it really had a big impact on this.
Yeah, it has. Man, Queen of Pain sitting at 81 last hits this game. Insanely good last hitting thus far. LGD.int's in a pretty okay position, though. I mean, it's sitting 3-3. If you look at the gold graphs, it's actually Rattlesnake's advantage, but they're only at 1,500, and that's based on a bunch of extra towers. LGD.int hasn't taken a single tower yet this game, so if they do take their towers, this can equalize. And here, there's the pushing reflected in the EXP gain. They're way ahead, so if they can just win a fight, take towers, they will be in a pretty big advantage.
They're supposed to be the aggressors right now. They have the Blink on the Batrider, they have the Infest Bomb, they have Crystal Maiden and Visage, very, very good early game heroes, but only 3 kills to their name and no towers. They need to find some kills as soon as possible.
There's the next assassin. Here he comes. Oh, he's going to grab Icy. Keeps him under the sentry and a couple right clicks. He's going to die very fast. Good pick off there, and the Blink Dagger pays off again. And you know what I think I love the most about this is that they're not using their
This
hard
tower
carry.
deny on bottom.
Go Bats. Yes, Bats get it. So what I like the best about this is their mid hero and their jungle hero looking for ganks. Pycat is still farming this whole time. So normally when you grab a lifestealer and do a strat like this, you're wasting a lot of your farming time on your main carry. And they don't have to worry about that because they have so many cores.
This tower on bottom, even though it gets denied, I still think it favors Rattlesnake because now they can invade their jungle safely. They've been all up in this area right below the pool cam, and it looks like there's a push coming in the middle. Don't want to distract from that.
It will be a BKB for Queen of Pain. Here comes the TP. They don't have the Flaming Lasso, which I think is why they're being aggressive. Mech gets popped. Open wounds on Sagam. Taking right clicks from G. He's going to try to get sent back. Will he go down in time? He does get killed before he gets out of there. Brax in trouble now. There's the track. Shrike Wand to stay alive, but the Scream of Pain doesn't catch him, and he's going to stay alive. No, the poison damage can't kill him, so he's going to be just fine. Really nice initiation there, and that
was
just
without
might stop the
lasso,
push.
too.
Yeah, a little greedy for him to go in, but hey, didn't die.
I mean, once they get BKB on Shadow Fiend, I think these teamfights are looking pretty scary for Rattlesnake. They don't have any way to like kill heroes really, really fast if Lifesteal is in front. He'll just rage, and usually they'll get the jump. Either Lifesteal will just run in with rage and armlet and open wounds like he just did, or they'll just get a Batrider initiate. So most of the times Rattlesnake is going to be starting off the fight 4v5, and unless they have BKBs or unless they find LGD.int alone, I don't think they can come out ahead with track gold, even with track gold.
Yeah, I agree. They need to make the kills happen, otherwise they're going to lose out.
They just need to split up. When LGD.int is 5-manning, they can just farm up more items, whether it be the Shadow Blade or BKB on the Dragon Knight, whether it be a Hex or BKB on the Queen of Pain. They need more items if they want to take on 5-on-5 engagements. They're best at picking small skirmishes, not 5-on-5ing right now.
Pycat goes for the mid tower. They were able to deny their mid tower as well, so even less gold advantage going to Rattlesnake. And if we take a look at it, it's sitting very, very stable right now. EXP gain goes up again because of more kills from LGD side. And we have a smoked Batrider coming around for Lulo. He doesn't have his BKB yet. He's got an Illusion Rune, but here comes Misery. He's got a haste as well. This is really useful, but he's going to blink into the trees. Will he TP out? There's the Firefly. They're going to be able to find her so easily. Will we see Flame Break? It is going to stop her in time, and this should be a dead Queen of Pain.
Yeah, poor Luo. Well, I mean, BKB doesn't really save you from that much, though. You can still get lassoed and burst it down pretty easily. I wouldn't say that it's like unnecessary, but at the same time, like if they're gonna put Queen of Pain in this sort of position, the safe lane farming uncontested role, I think they could have used a hero that's like a little bit weaker mid game or early game, but stronger than mid game. For example, like maybe like Faceless Void or something, or just a weaker hero in the early game that can utilize farm a little bit better.
Yeah, and LGD.int's now doing their pushing since they have most of their core items up. Missing a BKB on Shadow Fiend, but that's about it. Dragon Knight is just now finishing his Shadow Blade of his own, so I think a gem's going to be pretty valuable this game, don't you?
Yeah, they need a gem badly.
So many Invis heroes. And, ooh, there's a smoke. They're going for it again. Another Nake's Bomb. Will they be able to snag Sagam? They spot him. Here's the Firefly. Grabbing him. Nake's comes out. Couple right clicks. And another kill going on for LGD.
This is just the first 2 picks. This was the draft that we saw. We saw a Batrider, and they countered with a Nyx and a Dragon Knight, and then they picked a Lifestealer. And, like, you have to have solutions for Batrider. And Batrider plus Lifestealer, that's just a whole nother problem.
Yeah.
They have not been doing good, well at trying to counter, whether it just be trading track kills so that you can come out ahead, whether it be like really clutch counter initiates with Nyx Assassin, whether it be like really nice send back and heals with Mech that's already up on the Chen. They have not been doing a good job, and they've been getting picked off. The score was 3-3, but now LGD.int 4 unanswered kills.
I don't expect it to stop anytime soon either. There's a ping from Radiant Sentry where they have spotted the Dragon Knight. They know he's in the jungle somewhere, and all of LGD.int is going to be shifting over. They don't have the best disable, though, and they need to have detection ready. Do they have a dust? They do on Crystal Maiden. So they're looking for him now. They might catch him, but the dust is a bit far away. There's open wounds. That's going to guarantee the kill. I think it can actually seem they have a gem somewhere.
They have a gem on G. This is definitely necessary, and I think if they just keep forcing 5-on-5 engagements, Rattlesnake doesn't really have the items or the heroes to come back from that. They have really good push early game with the Chen and good like long drawn out skirmishes, but LGD, they just find a kill and Rattlesnake can't, like, the longer the fight goes, the better the fight is for them. More track kills, more Dragon Tails, but they haven't had any of those opportunities, and LGD is not giving them any.
And Queen of Pain is just now picking up her BKB. She went for a Treads Bottle Wand, TP Scrolls, and BKB. Batrider's going to grab a kill in the mid lane. That's with a bounty. Guess what happened, guys? It's a Blink Lasso. They didn't even use Infest this time. I mean,
Yeah.
kills are easy at this point.
And Brax is playing Batrider like he should be playing it. Just get your Blink as early as possible and just find kills every time Lasso is up. And that's the problem. You can't really push into a Batrider because there's usually cliffs, especially in the middle lane, like they were trying to do earlier. And the hero is just so powerful at making the opponents play a certain way. And Batrider will get the last tower on
That
bottom.
was so sexy. They waited so patiently for that. They're, okay, Quap's going to deny it. They had a little vision, I believe, from the Observer Ward, so they just blinked in, used the Flame Break, and stole the last hit.
So they have no vision of Roshan currently. There are no gargoyles going into there. They have 4 Observer Wards on the map, but I don't think that they know. And it's getting taken down very fast with this medallion pickup by Kabu. And looks like LGD will just be giving away for free. So even though LGD has gotten 6 unanswered kills, Rattlesnake will just take down a free Roshan. Checking out the XP and the gold graph.
They just... Oh, the bats! The bats! The bats!
Oh.
Deny it! No. No.
That was a long time for an Aegis to sit on the ground.
They didn't know who to put it on there. Oh, we have a safe farming Queen of Pain or a mid
Versus
DK.
a Batrider, you have to be really ready about that. Well, I mean, I guess it would be better for my compendium prediction of Aegis is stolen.
Was that one of them? What was the upper?
I think it was
upper,
like
lower.
4 or 5, somewhere around there. But there are a lot of games.
Yeah, that is true.
I mean, Na'Vi has gotten quite a few on their own, and I guess EG's not in this. Bambo likes to do that too.
Another Nyx Bomb is prepared. They're scouting out for heroes using the familiars. There's 2 in the jungle. It might be Sagam again. Here's the vision. Here comes the blink any second. He's actually going to pop the Spike Carapace. There it goes in. Quap is going to be the hero. This is going to be an Aegis burn for sure on Luo. And will they just run from this? It looks like it. So any advantage that they just got in terms of long-standing team fight
This is why I
gone.
particularly don't like the BKB rush. Like you're still very vulnerable to their main ganking source, which is Lifestealer bombs and the Glasso. If you get a Lincoln's, maybe you can blink away in time before they can pop it. He actually does have his Force Staff, but I mean, they don't really have to push right now. They don't have Lasso up, and there is no Aegis advantage anymore on the side of Rattlesnake. But they have to be very tentative about this push. There's no reason to press the issue. They've been coming out ahead on ganks. They've been coming out ahead on farm, even with the Roshan slip. So there's no pressure on LGD right now. Shadow Fiend scales very well with items. He already has BKB. He went a somewhat low HP build with the Treads and the Yasha, but he can still do a lot of damage. And even without that, they have the Lifesteal to fall back on.
And again, Lanham comes up the last hit, and they are all positioned. Here comes the blink. They just have to do open wounds. Great Force Staff from Brax there to catch the initiation. The nukes come in. Sagam tries to help him, but it's not going to matter at all. Pycat even pops his BKB, maybe unnecessarily, but they get 2 free kills on the top lane, and LGD doesn't show any signs.
That was just very, very patient positioning by them. If you saw where they were, they just sat in this area for it's the fake back, as people like to call it, and they just sat there for like a good 10 seconds, 15 seconds, knowing that one of them would come up. But Rattlesnake has to be aware of that. If you don't see anyone on the map, you have to be scared, especially versus a Batrider.
Wow, they're going for Icy. He's trying to do something in the neutrals.
This is getting ugly.
Man.
Wow. I mean, Brax has just been finding kills left and right. He has 4-0 and 8. He's been involved in every single kill on the side of LGD.int.
That was just insane play. We're even going to see this poor little Dark Troll summoner getting ganked. Run, little guy. Kabu didn't even want a chance sending that back. He was like, maybe. No. I would die. So he backs out. LG takes another uncontested tower.
Tower count is now even, though. It is 4-4. But advantage definitely goes to LGD right now. And checking out Shadow Fiend, I mean, he's just farming away. He has his BKB, he has 2,700 gold after picking up his Yasha. I don't really see Rattlesnake winning this late game, especially with their item choices. They went like 5-on-5 builds with the drums on the Bounty Hunter, with the BKB on the Queen of Pain, with the mech on the Chen, but they haven't been able to utilize it that much. And they have some ganking potential with the Nyx Assassin, with the Vendetta, the Shadow Blade on the Dragon Knight, and the Bounty Hunter with his invisibility, but they have a gem. and they haven't been able to get any sort of they haven't been able to get any jumps on LGD. It's been Brax just finding initiate after initiate after initiate, and Rattlesnake has just been dying like flies.
Yeah, a lot of these have been really great wards that can spot all the dire heroes, so even right now, they're setting up for this. Look, this Brax has a haste rune. This is so dangerous. He's going to blink in. Chen will be. No, it's going to be Sagam again. Force staffs down to the low ground.
There's no chance from that.
There is hell
Absolutely none.
The poor guy. How many kills is this? Brax is up to a total of 5, 0, and 8. Absolutely great play from him so far. And they're going on the mid lane. 2 towers left. They ping both of them. Rattlesnake says, guys, we got to defend these or we're going to lose the game. That's a Blink Dragon Knight, by the way. Haven't seen that before. Here comes the stun on Pycat. He goes in, does some damage. Great initiation.
Where's his team?
There's the right clicks. BKB is popped, but now Luo can't do anything. The right click, I think it's going to be enough. They do get the kill.
Ooh, just barely. Well, Blink Dragon Knight giving him 1 kill. I mean, he didn't
Interesting.
have a gem, though. Or, he didn't have any revelations, so I guess he could have just walked up and accomplished the same task. But still, something unique.
It's interesting that he has both the Blink and the Shadow
It's
Blade.
typically one
but
or the other. I've seen it sometimes on Shadow Fiend. And
Well, that makes
sometimes
sense,
on
but-
Magnus, but it's still very unusual to go for 2 utility items.
Yeah, probably the reason is, yeah, he would love to use his Shadow Blade to initiate, but they've had a gem for so long that he can't even guarantee that he's going to be able to get a melee range anymore. So
But what are they going to do versus Lifestealer? He has 2750 HP. He already has a completed heart. And Rattlesnake has, like, no damage right now.
well,
Next,
his attack speed is weak at least, but I
yeah,
mean,
he's
that's about all they got.
they can try and kite him with track, I guess. They
Yeah.
have no solutions for him. Like, what can they do when he rages? They can track him, and that's it. Maybe a troll netter. If Kabu can find a troll netter, it looks like they've been constantly in his jungle. I see 1 troll on his side, but I mean, they have to worry about the Lifestealer. They have to worry about the Bat Initiate. They have to worry about this Farm Shadow Fiend, and there is another Initiate. And
The
Luo is
hits.
just gonna die.
It's not even difficult to kill him anymore. His
know.
BKB, has he even used this yet? He hasn't.
Yeah, it's
First item
I don't
BKB.
like the item choice. He had so much gold. He could have gone a more greedy build instead of like the safe build that's not even paying off for him.
What about like a Lincoln Sphere?
Lincoln Sphere would have been fantastic.
He
but
went to had it before the
the
ganks
only
came,
problem with
but-
that is like Batrider got his Force Staff really fast, and Blink plus Force Staff costs less than Lincoln Sphere. So just Blink, Force Staff, and Lasso. If you're really fast, if you're a good Queen of Pain, you can try and blink away before he casts those spells in succession. But still, it would serve him better than this BKB at this point. I think it's kind of the hero pick too. Like, she's such a fragile hero that you have to get BKB against like a lot of this magic damage. With Frostbite, you're probably dead too.
Yeah.
And if you go into Requiem, you're dead. But at the same time, it's not effective. She was like the free farming hero. Shadow Fiend is having much more impact with his free farm and coming out way ahead. 200 last hits to 143 by the Queen of Pain.
Man, even Misery is extremely farmed here, sitting on a level 11, which is really effective. Bracer, Tranquil, and a full wand. They might go in.
There's a Force Staff.
Kabu gets caught. He's in trouble. He's got a mech at least. Brax is going to come forward. He uses Firefly. Definitely not going to waste his ulti on this one. And a couple right clicks, and they pick off the kill. Another dead hero. I love the gank coordination they've been using with the Force Staff. Just absolutely no hesitation on them. Great communication.
Rattlesnake is trying to split push right now, but they don't have the split push lineup. They have a ganking lineup, but they can't fight.
Yeah. I think it's safe to say they lost the early game.
Yeah.
I don't really know what they're trying to do with the Quap. It seems like every time I see a farming Quap in the safe lane,
That's
game
not what the
always
hero's
goes
supposed
bad.
to do.
Yeah.
Oh, and Luo gets gripped yet again, and he will die before he can pop his BKB.
They've got to be on tilt right now. I mean, he's going to buy back. They're going to try to fight this or defend it. I don't know if it's going to matter. Will we see an ulti BKB? She does the scream, pops the ulti. BKB anytime. There it is. Soul Assumption, a little wasted, but the Manta comes out from Pycat as well, but no real team fight happening. Just some magic damage. She's going to do one more scream, but another Force Staff, and the rest of LGD.int's going to back out.
And now Queen of Pain, their main farmer, has died once and bought back, and she is looking very, very poor. She had a very fantastic start. She has Power Treads, Blacking Bar, and 800 gold. Compare that to the Shadow Fiend, who has 1800 gold and a completed Manta. So pretty much a completed Manta and like 1000 gold on top of their safe lane farmer. So looking at these two different roles is just, I don't know. This is just not working out for Rattlesnake.
Yeah. Despite all this, Dragon Knight somehow still has 434 GPM. Lanham continues to be a beast. Died
G
3
is at
times.
full HP, and they're just going to siege away at the tower. They don't have Queen of Pain buyback anymore. They have most of their cooldowns up. Lasso is up in 6 seconds time, and they can't do anything. Blink Initiate won't matter from the Dragon Knight. They can't get close because they have a gem.
Again, they grab Luo. How many right clicks is going to take? Less than
That should
3.
be a G. That is
wow.
a G.
Good
Well,
game
started
called
off
already.
3-3, and then 13 or 14-1 after that.
Check out that stat. 100% of LGD.int's kills, Brax was there.
They have to ban Bat. That was
Oh
just
my gosh.
absurd how badly Brax crushed them after he got his Blink Dagger.
He made like no mistakes. He just won everything.
Rattlesnake was not ever like in a position to be the aggressor though, which is very surprising considering their lineup.
Well, they were the first 2 or 3 minutes when they took 2 towers, but they weren't able to snowball off of that. I mean, even Bounty Hunter had a rough time, 0-4-1 on him. He got some EXP, but they never really got that many track kills. Only 4 total kills on the board, and only 1 assist for Icy there. So
You don't pick Bounty Hunter to get 4 track kills in 30 minutes.
yeah. Do you think they could have picked a different off lane that maybe would have fit better in the pushing lineup?
I talked about this in the draft. They picked it too early. It like shows your lineup what you're gonna do, like, and you can't play like a really turtley strat with it, and you can't push with it either. So it means it's like a fighting strategy, and they can pick Visage, a great combat hero, as well as CM, a great combat hero in the early game, and they can just fend off the aggression. And then if they try split push, they don't have the heroes for it, and if they don't get kills because their lineup's like better for fighting, then Bounty Hunter's just useless. So, well, it was pretty stompy by LGD.int.
No kidding.
Yeah.
Well, that's game 1, guys. That was LGD.int versus Rattlesnake. We'll send it over to the analytics desk with LD and Loomis.
Batman, pretty good.
Yeah, pretty good.
Do we rename him to the Braxman yet, or
Not yet.
not yet?
Well,
He's
maybe
gotta earn that in a little bit.
if he like goes top 3 in TI, maybe we'll start considering that. But
yeah, it's early, but I think Rattlesnake is really struggling.
yeah. Well, I called it 2-0 LGD.int. I'm still on track for that one. You
We
guys
all
all
said 2-0. No, I said 2-0.
Oh, no, I think a lot of people said 1-1. At least.
You guys said 1-1?
Yeah, we were
I
both
said
wrong.
1-1.
Okay.
We were
But
wishy-washy.
I had no clue how LGD.int was going to perform though. I haven't seen him since Alien World Cup.
But that game, when I was watching outside, to me it was like shaking hands with Puppy. Have you shook Puppy's hand?
Crushes your hand.
He's like the alpha male when he shakes hand. And
Did you hear AUI 2000's interview?
yeah.
Way too
So
sexy.
so basically, when he's shaking your hand like that, you gotta shake hard back to him. And the analogy with this game is that when you have both teams that go full-out aggression, because on one team you have Nick Assassin, a Blink DK, a Blink Quap, and a Bounty Hunter, you gotta out-aggress the other team. Out-aggro the other team. That didn't happen. And Brax was involved in every single kill. Again, that's kind of the most exciting thing. But the fact that he was able to blink in half the time to initiate, or how many times did he force half the lifestealer inside so the open would initiate? That was something that we haven't seen too often in other games, and he was able to pull that off many times. So I think a lot of the initiation kind of was fueled by Brax, and they never turned back.
Yeah, and I just feel like they had a pretty weak laning lineup. Like, you get DK, you get Bounty Hunter. I mean, these heroes don't really win lanes. And then you have Visage, Bat Rider. Rattlesnake is a team to me that normally picks pretty weak lanes, but I don't think you can get away with that against LGD.int. LGD.int, that was their style even back G League Season 2.
Yeah.
Crush the laning stage, snowball, break the base before 30 minutes. You cannot go ultra greedy, ultra weak lanes against LGD.int. It's just not going to work.
Yeah, what RS was really successful yesterday in beating Quantic was in game number 1, they were able to like roll top, get 2 towers, roll mid, get a tower, roll bot, get a tower, and then even Shadow Fiend got picked off like multiple times in that game, but it didn't matter. They just had such good lanes and such good lane advantage coming out of that laning stage.
Right.
They need to do that against LGD.int to take game number 2. I don't think they could do it.
And that pretty much, I think, wraps up game number 1. We can show our groups very quickly here if we have any new results and updates. Hopefully all the results are accurate now.
Yeah, that is right.
Okay, so we have had some more games coming in. Team Liquid, this one's pretty interesting. They took a game off Orange. And I think the other interesting thing is Liquid surprising, at least to me, very surprising that they took a game off Orange, but also surprising that Orange is 0-3. Now, keep in mind they did play Tongfu first, one of the strongest teams in this group, but that's pretty scary. 0-3 start on day 1, can't feel good.
Yeah, I mean,
Who are they match up against?
Liquid.
Liquid?
So I think they need to at least go 1-1 versus Liquid. Liquid,
their confidence is shot.
I
if
mean,
Orange
maybe
goes 0-4.
I'm a huge fan of this team. I didn't really think they were that strong coming into the day, but I would have rated them in the bottom half of the group.
I think I think TI will do well in the group stage. I'm worried for them during the main event.
Okay. Well, different opinions. We'll see who pans out here, but I think Orange can bounce back though. I think they definitely can.
It says 4-0 for Tongfu against Virtus Pro, but for those of you guys that missed it, Virtus Pro pulled the Alliance Roshan level 1 TP. A level 1 TP and got the Aegis against Tongfu.
And they lost.
And
they got crushed.
They got wrecked.
They got the Aegis. They got off safely. Everything was great.
Yeah.
And then
Spectre Radiance happened at 16 minutes or 18 minutes. There was a fight where Tongfu like ran up a hill as 4 and got Black Hole as 4.
Yeah.
And they killed like everybody, and then Spectre happened and got Ultra Kill.
that game was so bad that we're like, all right, let's watch another game now.
Yeah,
so
like
we were
we're-
kind of flipping around between a few. But in the end, it wraps up game number 1. We'll take a very quick break here. When we come back, we should be live with game number 2. Rattlesnake now trailing LGD.int 0-1 in the 2-game set and looking for their first win still. LGD.int off to a good start.